it's kind of semantics. Moose is driving home the point that they weren't doing well with convergence, which is true.
But that's
And
not what
this
he said.
move, well, no, I think that's the accurate way of portraying it. I think Moose is saying it was a problem with their design. We're saying it's a problem with the execution. Clearly, convergence works because even Verizon has said where they have FiOS, the retention for both sides of the sales, which would be the FiOS and the wireless, their numbers are way better in retention. So the convergence works. Verizon knows that, or else they wouldn't have did this. And the reason they weren't converging well before was was pretty simple. They don't win enough in wireless to warrant the consideration for fixed wireless access. But now with a wireline option, it's always the best option. Like look at these numbers. Frontier's NPS is 6x higher than the closest cable competitor. 50+% of revenue and 65% of EBITDA from fiber. The best experience is always a fiber competitor. So now they've addressed this. They have become the name in convergence wherever that Frontier fiber is. This deal makes all the sense in the world. This is also going to help. In my opinion, I don't know if this is for sure going to happen. I think this facilitates an improved fixed wireless experience in all these places because the
Absolutely.
fiber will be available to the cell. So they're going to put a 10 gig circuit to a cell instead of paying for a 1 gig on a lease and overpaying for it.
And
Well, it
if I can
also. Well,
and
I'm
if I
sorry.
can
Go ahead.
jump in here real quick too, like another thing right now that's not being mentioned that I can actually like give you guys a little bit of the inside knowledge on too, is that Verizon is already internally training their employees in stores to bundle sell the Frontier internet and the fiber with the wireless. So customers are going to be able to converge because you're going to get a discount on your Frontier for bundling with Verizon wireless service. So this is going to help growth for both companies in big ways, especially in the Midwest, where Frontier has a lot of fiber passings and no other competitors are in those areas.
So let me ask Moose this because Moose kind of came in with this whole thing. Well, he stepped out. If we can get him back, what I would ask Moose is, what did Verizon do wrong? Like,
Nothing.
where's the wrong part of this deal? To me, I think this addresses a lot of things that improves their network
He
and it
knows that.
improves their reach and it improves their viability. Like Verizon's a big ass company, and this is a big ass deal. Like, look at
He,
the states.
he knows.
You have
He's
Midwest,
just an AT&T fanboy, to be honest.
but look, it's Florida, it's Texas, it's California, and then like you've got the Midwest. These are parts where Verizon didn't have wireline ambitions that
And
all of a
let's
sudden they do.
and let's be honest. A lot of these areas, to respectfully disagree with what Moose said, they are in AT&T's backyard. Texas is AT&T's backyard. Florida is AT&T's backyard. The southern parts of California, which happen to be where Frontier, those are areas that AT&T has a significant fiber presence. So,
North Carolina, South Carolina, all that stuff's AT&T fiber.
the,
Tennessee,
the Midwest, like look at all that blue in the
that's
Midwest.
all AT&T.
That's going to allow Verizon to really dominate in those areas because let's be honest. So everything that you said is right, Steve. But from a wireless networking standpoint, how does fiber to the prem help a wireless network? What it does is it offloads the network because customers can come home and get on Wi-Fi, which allows the RF footprint to expand. When these sectors
Well,
are
it's
loaded.
important. It's important because you're going to get the convergence. So yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
that's true, but I mean, from a technological standpoint, it
Sure.
offloads the wireless network. So when these sectors and when these sector carriers, when they get overloaded, they contract, they constrict. The cell coverage constricts. It goes down. It doesn't transmit as much. And so if once it begins to offload, then you can have these spectrum, you can have that stuff that's transmitting now starts to spread its wings and it can transmit a little further. You get
Look,
higher throughput. You
the
get less
story,
SINR.
but
These are improvements.
the
I
story
mean,
is not just about AT&T though. This is something I wanted to talk about, and I was waiting for the pod because I obviously want to get Zero Cool's input on this too. I mean, this is direct shots fired at cable. Like this is, in my opinion, as impactful on AT&T's business. It is also impactful against Comcast and Spectrum, and I'm going to tell you why. those guys have the privilege of being on arguably the nation's biggest, best network in terms of wireless, but then also having their own wireline plant. Well, now Verizon is going to be competing with them from the wireline side, but they provide the wireless network.
Yep.
So this is huge impacts because
Yep.
cable has been laughing, saying, ha, 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 we're taking your wireless customers. You're making less money and we're making a little money. Well, now they don't have to lose them. Now they're going to have Frontier customers becoming Verizon, I'm assuming Fios customers. I don't think they'd call it Verizon Fiber. They'll just call it Fios, right? So yeah, cable's in trouble here. You know, AT&T is like, okay, this sucks, but I guarantee you Comcast in Pennsylvania and Spectrum in places like Michigan, in places like Wisconsin, in places like Ohio. I mean, it's AT&T and Spectrum are not happy about this deal. They are not. And nobody's going to slice it any other way. They're
Nope.
pissed. Zero
Yep.
Cool, jump in, bro.
Yeah, so I think, we all knew Frontier was gonna be bought out, but it's just I kind of knew again, like, Verizon needs to up its fiber game and in more than 9 states that they already operate in, right? So I think the timing was right. I think the price was good. I could see essentially Link being bought out next eventually, but no, I mean it's just what's the future, right? What we always said, wireless and fiber. This acquisition just proves that, right? And you'll see more acquisitions happen. Like I could see Altice Cable being bought out. They have a fiber network, especially in the New York area, right? So I could see them being acquired. I could see more acquisitions happening, right? And it's gonna happen. Fiber is going to be extremely important for 6G, especially for AI, for edge computing, for Mac. So no, it's what the world is going to be running on in the near future, especially when you have connected cities, smart cars, and whatnot. So this is just the one of many. But no, I think again, Verizon has played its hand pretty well, and I think they had made a good acquisition here with Frontier.
SMT Nation, it is time for me to introduce to you Aura. Give you guys an incredible suite of cybersecurity protections to keep everything that you do online safe, keeping you safe from identity theft, scams, online threats, including protections for your entire family. They offer pretty much a worry-free trial period. Obviously, the pricing is very competitive, starting at $12 per month. They've got one simple and easy app for you to use. They've got incredible features, $1 million in coverage, 24/7 expert fraud support, transparent pricing, the money-back guarantee at 60 days with a free trial, no strings attached. So with the odds of falling victim to an online crime being 1 in 4, this would change everything. Really should check them out. The financial fraud protection is worth its weight in gold. Help keep your kids protected within boundaries that you set forth for them. Proven to be the fastest, most reliable fraud alert system. And it's as simple as choosing your plan, simply setting up how you're enrolled, and then getting notified for all the things that it's monitoring. Start your free trial now. Use our link. It's down in the description, and it's also here on the screen, aura.com/Sneed. You guys can click the URL. It's hyperlinked down in the description. And again, it's up here on the screen, aura.com/Sneed. Protect yourself from all the digital threats that's out there in the world.